Hi everyone, good afternoon. How are you all doing?
Oh,
You all
something.
are doing okay?
Let me mute myself.
You did that? You mute yourself? Hi guys, good afternoon. As you all can see, we've been having this little technical, not technical difficulties as we are accustomed of hearing, but just some technical issues. It's the same thing, right? We were just figuring out a few things before we came up here live. Um, so First of all, what's happening? What was your week like this past week from last Thursday to now? What have you all been up to? It's been very, very rainy, very gloomy, very, very I don't know. It's would you say it's dampering? It's very dampering, especially giving the fact that the COVID effects is in the air. People are already, so in distress. Then we have rain. But I, for one, do not complain when it's rain. I actually love when it rains. It gives that cozy, that cozy effect, that cozy feel. I love that. So I'm always tucked away whenever it rains. At least I try to, it's just a very cozy ambiance. So today, this is very impromptu, very, very impromptu. And all we want to do is just chill, really and truly. We just want to chill today. But for the past several years, well, currently, I think at there it's just finished. You said right. So every year in September, the United Nations hosts its General Assembly, right? So there, all of its members, the members join traditionally in New York City at their headquarters, but this year, because of COVID, of course, it was hosted digitally. So everything was online. All of the high level meetings, the side events, all of those things were done online, including the Global Goals Week as well. In for the past 4 years, we've actually been working. For the past 4 years, we've actually been working uh, with in partnership with the United Nations Foundation, and we've been not hosting, sorry, basically we're doing media coverage at the General Assembly from side events, especially our focus on the Sustainable Development Goals, the Global Goals Week, right? So I have with me today my sister, my friend, my my woman in media partner, and also we work together doing media with her. I work with her business and she supports what I do as well, the TanTv, which is based in Washington, D.C. So this is Adedayo Fashanu. Adedayo, just this is the we have, let me tell you, Adedayo, we have an audience that is in St. Martin, yes, but our audience is throughout the Caribbean. And we do have an audience that is located in the Asian continent as well as the African continent. So there
Wow.
are persons, yeah, there are persons who will be very excited to see you here. There's someone when I did a broadcast up, he was like, "Hey, this is my very good friend from Facebook. That's Nuhu from Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Nuhu is in the group, the Global Goals group on Facebook.
Oh,
So Adedayo, let us know a little bit about you, your media background, how you came about doing media, becoming a woman in media. I mean, Adedayo is, she just did an interview, like a sit down face to face interview with the new editor in chief of Vogue magazine. So you understand what we're really dealing with here, right? So this is where we are. All right. So Adedayo,
hi everyone. Hi Keoma. Thank you for having me on your
oh,
show.
pleasure.
Um, this is really good. I've been keeping up with the show, and you have been doing amazing. I must say, given the whole situation, and I'm bringing conversations and topics of importance to life. That's so important, and that's the essence of media. Is that we're able to bring conversations that matter to the forefront, and you don't need to have a million people in the audience, to spread information. It just takes one, and you have been
Yes.
doing really good with even engaging a lot of people on this platform. I see the numbers. So well done. I'm so proud of you, and so happy to be connected with you. Over the past few years, we've done a lot of things together, covering the United Nations SDG Media Zone, and we focused on youth and sustainable development, and basically youth in development. And you have been a huge part of that. TanTv is the company that I run. It's a media company, and the essence of TanTv really is that we're able to cover socially impactful stories, and we find different ways. It doesn't matter what field it is. It's in science, development, art, entertainment, whatever field it is, we're interested in the impact around that field. So basically, we focus on individuals who are making impact in different fields. And we focus a lot more on the multicultural individuals, the Blacks, people from the diaspora. Basically, we try to tell stories that it's not where the stories that CNN doesn't cover, for instance, right? But we see those grassroots people, individuals who are doing something interesting and who deserve the spotlight. And so we do our best to, bring that to the forefront of the media. And we, by the grace of God, we've been doing very well. And we're praying that we'll continue to soar.
Mhm.
So in regards to I'll let you lead the conversation. Go on.
Sure. Let me just say hi to some of our viewers before I respond to what you just stated. We have Wilfred. Hey, my king. How are you? Wilfred Gadu is a very, very good friend of mine. I am so, so proud of this guy. Like, he has no idea. Well, he knows. He knows. He's watching from New Jersey. Yeah, he's watching from New Jersey. We have Lyndon Smalls, who is watching from England. Hey, Lyndon. We have Sharita Crandon. I know she's in Antigua. Camille Williams, Camille Wilson. Why am I calling you Williams, girl? Camille is in Guyana. I see Nicole the Weaver as well. Nicole is in New York, and Nicole is into the arts. Nicole does some really, really great work here in St. Martin and throughout. Nicole danced with Beyonce, girl.
Oh
Nicole,
wow.
yeah, like you can see her in one of Beyonce's music video. Like she is that person. So
Yeah.
Nicole, I'm putting you on the spot, you know. So what you stated is very, 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 very important. I think was it you or someone I was speaking to over the past several weeks, and we wondered, why like what we believe, what I believe is the reason why young persons like ourselves aren't intrigued to know, what exactly is happening in our community. Because a lot of times when persons watch us do
Mm.
social impact work, they feel it's a nonprofit that we're running. They feel it's, oh, you're like you're running a nonprofit organization. But
Mm.
the idea is to better understand the state of affairs with our community, with our people in
Yeah.
various sectors, whether be it healthcare, be it finance. And what we do is, well, what we have started doing, and I personally think it's a good gauge. I personally think it's a good gauge for everyone to follow, because a lot of times we're thinking, okay, what can I do exactly? Where should I even begin?
Mm-hmm.
And we're thinking, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. But the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, these goals were established, and for persons like ourselves, for like me and you, and so many others, it creates an actual clear indication as what the key, what, hey, Kevin, Charles from Trinidad, what the key, Kevin, I will mention Kevin too, but what the global goals does is creates a clear image, right,
Mm.
of where the issues are in the world. And it
Yeah.
gives a very concentrated look to see where we can focus on. So,
Yeah.
so I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy, I'm very happy and proud, Adedayo,
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that you took it upon yourself to recognize the needs of our communities, of our people, but not just Not, yes, yeah, here you go. Put it closer to the screen, you know. So you,
You
I,
saw that
I,
link.
I very much applaud, your efforts. Hey, Henrietta Haynes from
Yeah.
Antigua, Bismarck Agency. I see you, Kevin. So I'm very proud of the fact that you were able to recognize the needs of our people when it comes to media. Not just looking to run a nonprofit organization, but as you stated, we tell stories. You tell stories that CNN would not cover per
Mhm.
se, right? This is what we're doing. We reach our people, and the idea is to create multicultural social impact stories. We speak to people every day. People want to know
Mhm.
what is happening to you. Anita Facey from Jamaica. Hey Anita, what's up? So exactly what we do with Gyhaffin, with Keoma as well. So I
Mhm.
must say I applaud you. I
Thank
work
you.
with you. I watch you first. Let our viewers know something. This is my bragging point. I kid you not. What I'm about to say is my bragging point for Adedayo. I know when Obama was in office, she's laughing. I know when Obama was in office, every person were glued, right? Do you all remember when he was leaving office in 2000, is it 2016? 2016, right? Do you all
Yes.
remember when he was leaving office? Well, this girl here, she did media coverage at the White House when Obama was leaving office. Like this is exactly what this is, right? She was in the White House doing media coverage when Obama was leaving office, right? Hey, Moses from Nigeria. Hey, oh, Adedayo Fashanu from
It's our
Nigeria.
Independence Day.
Oh, happy independence. Happy
Yeah.
independence.
I should be wearing green, white, green. Well, actually, I'm wearing white, so this is green. So there we go. We're repping.
Right? Right? So Adedayo, how did you even start in media? What
You
is it that
know,
spark that thing that make you start?
first let me touch on the coverage of the Obama White House.
Oh yeah, please.
One of the things that I enjoyed about Obama being president, a lot of people would have their highs and lows about his presidency, what they like, what they do not like, which is normal, right? But for
Mhm.
me, what was important to me were the initiatives that was happening during that administration, or
Mhm.
within that administration. And it's something that I've kind of, within the Trump administration, I've not really, it feels like it's just gone by, like 4 years is just like I haven't really, it's been a lot of negativity, it's been a lot of, and while maybe some things might, it's built on a lot of negativity, and we've seen so much happen with a lot of like the protests, so much happened. But the Obama period was really a period where he proved that the White House is for everybody, right? So if
Yes,
you were
I
in the
agree.
US and you were of some level of significance and you didn't make it to the White House, then I don't know what you were doing, right? Because
Yeah.
it was truly open, it was truly the house for the people. And the administration made us know that. And they created initiatives that were engaging. So through these initiatives, such as the global development initiatives that they had, they created programs for like the Yali, a
Yeah.
program
I
called
know the Yanni.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, Girls Education, Let Girls Learn, that was led by Michelle Obama, the former first lady. So a lot of these initiatives were things that got me interested. And to be honest with you, like how how I got in was through the administration. Somehow they found me, somehow they emailed me. And I was just kind of like, okay, I mean, you call, the White House calls you, you go for it. I
Of
still
course, you run. You
don't
don't go, you
understand.
run.
Like it's not like I had a contact in there per se that this,
Mm.
you know, like, oh, link me here or there. Like it was truly very generic. My work was seen. I was writing on the HuffPost and guest writing for Forbes. So somehow I was pushing and knocking on that door of, wanting to be a voice and wanting to be a change maker. And honestly, God just made it happen, and so, so the follow-up I did from emails that I received through the administration, especially it just showed how they wanted to engage, and so I covered the Obama Summit on Global Development, covered um, the chief technology officer, Megan Smith, some programs that they had when Hidden Figures came out, um, interviewed, what's her name? Oh God, the chief of staff
Oh,
of,
very nice.
yes, so there were so many things to cover, so many things to, so for me, I was really into what was going on, not just the
Mm.
politics, but the part again
The
of social.
engagement, the
Yeah,
engagement,
free
the
education.
engagement.
I was there, like I literally watched a movie with Michelle Obama in one of the rooms, and they had a bunch of media watch this documentary that CNN produced on girls' education, right? And so those topics are things that, going back to the global goals, that matters, right? So beyond politics, for me, it wasn't like, oh, I studied politics or even journalism. It's more from initiatives and more from
Yeah.
wanting to tell, stories that matter, right? And so all the stories, like the Let Girls Learn initiative that Michelle, like for now, the current first lady's initiative is called Be Best, and she also fights against bullying and all that, but it's counterproductive because we see the president as a
Yeah.
bully, so you can't run
Yeah.
an initiative and say
Yeah.
you're saying be the best self,
Contradicting.
yeah, and
Contradicts.
we're
Yeah.
fighting against bullying. So for me, I don't fully connect. I mean, I've been invited and I just haven't honored invitations to go during Trump administration because I can't really put my face on some of those initiatives that are run, because I just don't, it's everything against, like you can't talk about don't bully and yet
You're
your husband
bullying.
is saying, different things against women and all that stuff. So it's, but going back to the sustainable development goals, when you look at global development and you look at some of the issues, right, like you were saying, the SDGs are these 17 goals that really outlines in a very clear format all the problems that you can think of that affect the world and that affect humanity. And so for me, media is ultimately just about being human. It's ultimately just about the humanity in all of us and looking and fearing for the people who are less privileged, who are marginalized, and going back to the root. And so when you talk about eradication of poverty, which is the number one on the SDGs, for instance, even looking at COVID, right? So
Mhm.
COVID has increased the gap of poverty according to the World Bank. It's going to take now more years to eradicate poverty in the way it needs to be. And so it's just all of these issues for me moves me eternally, and I want to do something about it. I want to share stories about it. I want to, because somehow at the end of the day, it's all about the life that you impact. And so
Exactly.
it goes back, so it's not politics, it's not even just about politics at all. It's about humanity, and the SDGs, that's the essence. So essence of the SDGs is not to talk about, oh, let's just all look pretty and go to the UN or this. But when I go to the UN, when we've gone to the UN, we've met people who
Hmm.
actually care. The
Yeah.
downside
People
of
do
it,
things. Yeah.
yeah, the downside of it is that a lot of these big CEOs and corporate entities, the private sector and all that, it's about trying to get them to connect,
Hmm.
to the essence, to the main root of why you're fighting for these solutions, right? Because every human's life matters at the end of the day. So I think in anything we do within the SDGs, within the UN, within media, is that whose life are you touching? How are you making an impact in somebody's life? Right. And then when you look at the youth population, because we focus heavily on young people, because we are young people, we're being affected, and we have, peers in different, different regions around the world who are dealing with the daily realities of, for instance, climate change, dealing with realities of, job employment, dealing with the realities of,
There's
I
gender
mean,
equality,
gender equality, education,
healthcare,
health,
hunger.
health,
Yeah.
especially. So you have those issues. And for me, the way I understand the SDGs, because it's very complicated for people to understand the SDGs, right? Because they're like,
Think
what?
so?
And not, yeah, not a lot of people get it, right? Because it's like it looks like this big thing, and it's like,
Yeah, but
gosh, why
it's
should I
very
even care?
simple.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is looking at all these issues and seeing really beyond statistics, but more about how it affects even one person, right? So if you think about it like that, you're not looking at, because when they, when the World Bank gives reports, they give these numbers and percentages, and the statistics are like, so it's like you put everything on the statistics of people affected by climate change, but you fail to
Mhm,
see that those statistics are human lives that we're
mhm.
talking
Yeah.
about. And so it goes down to really looking at how does, like, the different goals under the SDGs, who is being affected by these things. And the goal was set for 2030, and COVID again has happened or is happening. And is it stalling on things? Are we going to really accomplish these goals by 2030? What is the UN doing about it beyond just having all these forums and talks? What are governments doing about it? What is private sector doing about it? What are
Mhm.
you as an
Doing
individual
about it.
doing about it? So I think
Mhm.
all of those things, and where media comes in, is we're able to bring in these conversations to the table, highlight people who are working, and highlight issues or the challenges that the SDG is currently facing, highlight those challenges and bring it to the forefront. So overall, it's just, at the end of the day, bringing different sectors together to say, let's use this platform to highlight this. And I think we have a role to play. You and I have a role to play, and we hope that, and truth is, you might think that you're not making an impact, but don't be deceived, because a lot of people who are on our timelines, who follow us, they might not be much, but we're giving information to them that they probably wouldn't have known otherwise unless it was through us. Like, I've had people tell me, I found out about this thing because I saw it on your timeline, or I learned it. So I'm like, really? So somehow we connect in a way. And it's just, now for me, I've been more about the content, more about the quality of the content that I'm putting out there, beyond just quantity of,
Yeah.
or reach. Which my next stage now is to grow that reach, because I want more people to have access to the information we have on the
Yeah.
TanTv platforms and everything we've done. So, but generally the past few years for me has been about building the baseline, and on quality versus quantity. Yeah.
I think too, in terms of content, it's not just, the quality of the content only, but we need to be responsible with our content. We need to be
Yeah.
very responsible about what we're putting out there, and
Mhm.
to remember, that this information will be digested by people. So we need to be very responsible by what we say, even when we talk, what we put out there. All right. So you stated a lot of things, and I want to go back for a little bit, just so our viewers. I'm not too sure if we're seeing, because on my end, I'm looking at the Facebook page, but it's frozen on my screen. So I'm not too
Oh.
sure, what is happening there. I really am not too sure what is happening there. Oh, I see it now, right? I see it now. Okay, I think I just moved something. Yeah. So for our viewers who are looking and you're trying to figure out what the heck is SDGs, right? Just in case you're trying to figure out what the heck is SDGs. Can I say heck? Yeah. What the heck is the SDGs? Sustainable Development Goals. So let me give you a brief overview of how the SDGs came about. All right. I may have some of the figures a bit wrong, but this is a gist of it. So
Mhm.
everyone knows, right? In 2000, the year 2000, when everyone was going crazy, the world is going to end. Do you remember that? Well, world leaders came together, right, to discuss the issues of the world, from HIV and AIDS, XYZ, 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 whatever the issues of the world was. They came up with 5 goals, right, to eradicate stuff like HIV and AIDS, hunger, poverty. All right. I honestly, I don't remember from the top of my head what all of the first
You're talking
8
about the
goals were.
Millennium Development Goals?
Yes, those were and they call them the MDGs. So the leaders of the world came together to discuss the issues. So the overlying issues, right? That every country in the world basically face. And those goals were 8. They categorized them as and they call them, they label them as the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals. The MDGs ran for a period of 15 years. So these goals were scheduled to run. Well, they actually ran from 2000 to 2015. All right. So what was encouraged was the rolling out of these goals. It was promoted in a way whereby governments in every country were advised, were encouraged to adopt these goals in your governing structures, your governing program. Businesses were encouraged to adopt these goals in the way how you run and operate your business. Persons within the household were also encouraged to adopt these goals. When it comes to climate change, climate change is simple. Waste management, recycling. That is one way. How do we manage our garbage? So that is one way of how we can, utilize the SDGs, the MDGs back then, and even SDGs now within our household. All right. So it's simplified in all different sectors, from country level, the highest level, from country level to the private public sector, to the household, to the individual. All right. So hi, Judy. Thank you for watching. So after the MDGs ended, let me just mention. Okay, after the MDGs ended, right? So it transitioned to the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So again, a revision was done after the 15 years to basically gauge, okay, how effective the goals were, how effective we were in achieving these goals after the 15 year in 2015. And based on that, the results of those evaluation, right, the SDGs were created, the Sustainable Development Goals. And those goals are 17 goals. All right, 17 goals. It goes from poverty, hunger, healthcare, education, gender equality, life on land and sea, climate change, partnership, peace, and even to strengthening governance, the strengthening of the governing structures in countries. So we have now 17 goals, the MDG goals. And again, just like the MDGs, it is encouraged for every country, every government in the world to at least adopt these goals in their governing program. Because if you actually look at these goals, right, if you are there, just put it up, please. Put up. I know you have the little banner. You could put it up. Put it higher, please.
Can you see it?
So yes. So what we will do is after we will post it after in one of the comments here, right? So what you will see is every country in the world has situations with hunger, poverty, healthcare, you name it. So can you imagine if every government of the world can adopt these goals, these initiatives in their governing program, if schools can adopt them, if the churches can adopt them, if private sector, public sector can adopt them, if us as individuals can adopt them, we'll all be contributing to making our planet, our world, a better place in one way or the other. All right. So that is the essence of the SDGs. The background was from the MDGs, and that was the SDGs. And again, it's been around for another 15 years. So the SDGs were implemented in 2015, and it runs up until 2030. So if you look around online, anywhere, but you will see the 2030 goals. The 2030 goals are the SDG goals, all right? The 2030 goals are the SDG, because the SDGs run from 2015 up until 2030. They're expected to end in 2030, all right? So we are working towards achieving these things as best as we can, these goals as best as we can, until 2030. Then we go from there. I saw Kevin Kevin Charles in Trinidad, he commented. And let me say that from the transitioning, right, of the MDGs to the SDGs, the, what was it, UNESCO and UNICEF, they hosted this youth consultation whereby persons from the Caribbean region, basically, oh, it was for SIDS. SIDS is SID, is small island developing states. So all small island developing states in the world, right, from the Caribbean, Pacific, Atlantic, all of those islands, right? We had to apply. I was one of the Caribbean youth leaders who was selected. We had about between 18 to 20 Caribbean youth leaders who were selected and flown to Jamaica to discuss the issues of sustainable development from a youth perspective. We did this in 2013, right? So you will think that we were monitored by this big group. We were flown to Jamaica by UNESCO, UNICEF, put in a room, in a hotel room, in a conference room. And for 1 week, I'm telling you, it was so intense, but it was beautiful just to sit and discuss the issues of sustainable development of the Caribbean, right? While simultaneously, these meetings were also happening in Fiji and the Seychelles. So I was one of those here. So we discussed, we came up with 5 goals, sustainable development goals. We had persons, I was from St. Martin. We had persons from Jamaica. We had persons from Antigua, Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, like throughout Puerto Rico. So it was very, very interesting to see. And what we were doing actually was the participating in the preparatory process from the transition of the MDGs to the SDGs. So the document we created were taken to the heads of the government, of the whoever was organized that event. They was taken there, and it was in preparation for the 2014 global meetings on SIDS, right? So when persons will see it, think, oh my God, she's doing charity work. But the things we are actually engaged in is meaningful work, and it contributes towards moving our human race forward, to contribute towards enhancing our lifestyle, our day-to-day lifestyle. And with this platform, with all of the MDGs, you can do so much out of it. They are farmers. You can do agriculture if you like. You can focus on technology if you like. You can focus on governance, if you like. But we're into media. So we chose the platform of media to bring stories of everyone and how to tell those stories.
No, definitely. I think for instance, the SDGs now, like you did good in giving the background of the SDGs, and from the MDGs to now the SDGs. And the SDGs, the completion date for the SDGs is 2030. So you would find 2030 goals, or you find it as global goals or sustainable development goals. It's all the same. It's all the same thing, right? So now every year you have, in September, you have the United Nations General Assemblies, and the United Nations General Assemblies, they focus on, like, you have different global leaders from around the world come together for the UNGA. And there's within the UN, there's what we've covered as being the SDG Media Zone. So the SDG Media Zone is they're partners of the United Nations, and they created this media zone for people in the media, for influencers, bloggers, journalists. They have different organizations that are into media and engaging people with the SDGs to use as a platform to cover what's going on within the UNGA, right? And so this zone has run like not online, but before COVID, it was in person, and you had this beautiful tent out there.
We were there in 2018. Yeah, I was there in 2018.
Huh?
I was there in 2018. Bro.
Yes. Yes, and you had this beautiful tent, and you meet so many high level personalities and actors and entertainers and CEOs from private sector and
Yeah.
government officials, and they're all there and they have conversations. And so the media zone, obviously we were interested because it's the media zone, and it gave us an in into having these conversations and meeting different people. I don't know if you can share the screen. Let me play some of the interviews we've done in the past.
Let me see if I remember. Yeah. One minute, one minute, one minute.
My name is Gyhaff. I'm a pediatric.
Okay. How do I share the screen again? I did this already.
You did?
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay,
So
go
this
ahead.
is this okay, it says sharing computer sound, no screen.
Okay, let me see.
I don't know. We didn't practice this, so this is so impromptu.
Yeah, this is all impromptu. Okay, let me stop it. Let me just see again. One minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Type of content from 2 cameras. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Is it working? I'm not sure.
Okay, no, I think it's saying I am viewing your screen. So maybe I'm the one who should share my screen.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Oh, let me see.
To our viewers, minus, let me figure this out, because what we want to show you is some of the work we have done in the past at the General Assembly, all right? And all of this is happening, just in case you may be thinking, why we're doing this? Why are we talking about, the work we have done in media, producing multicultural social impacts content? The idea is for us to understand, look beyond what we're saying, hear what we're saying, but look beyond it. What I've been doing with Gyhaffin, you all have been a part of Gyhaffin for the past 16, 17 weeks. All right. That is social impact content, right? This is what it's about. It's recognizing the quality of the content that we're putting out there. The intent of the content is to elevate persons' lives, allow us to move ourselves forward, to educate persons, right? So we have created a media company that focuses primarily on content such as this. So it does not necessarily mean only sitting on a couch and we're just talking on live, but we actually leave and we go to events. We are partners. TanTv, which I work with TanTv, which is Adedayo's company. I work with her on TanTv, and TanTv is a partner, like a actual partner of the United Nations Global Goals Week. All right. So
So my screen isn't, it's gonna want to go back to my settings to allow me share, which will log me off. So I don't want to do that. But I don't know if you can, well, it's just on the TanTv YouTube page. So if you go on the TanTv YouTube, just TanTv Studios, then you go to the playlist and then you see the SDG media zone coverage. I don't know if you can quickly check it and see if you can share it from your end. But anyway, guys, you can go on the TanTv YouTube. So it's TanTv Studios on YouTube, and just look at the SDG Media Zone coverage. There's a playlist there. So we have a bunch of interviews that we conducted, from past United Nations General Assembly coverage that we've done. But yeah, I wanted to just show some clips of those interviews. And so right now, the media zone ended on the 29th of September. I think that was yesterday or 2 days ago, is it?
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. But you have the high level week, which usually starts from the 17th or 18th of September to like the 29th or 28th or 29th of September, and then as we are in partnership with the Global Goals Week, so you go to globalgoalsweek.org, you're going to see you're going to learn more about what's going on. And obviously because of COVID, everything has been virtual, everything has been online. So with this, you have a lot of forums that's still going to continue in October. So even though the official UNGA 75 high level week is over, it's happened and they've rounded it up, and the SDG media zone officially ended on the 29th of September. The Global Goals Week has extended the programs and everything they're doing to October. So the month of October is also an interesting month. There's so much events around the SDGs that are still ongoing, I guess till the end of October. And so what we're doing, or what we plan on doing, is to hold an event. And so we're going to be hosting, by the grace of God, our first summit, which is the TanTv SDGs Summit. And we're hoping to have it on the 29th. So I'm sure Keoma will share more information about that. But it's interesting because we hope to bring in speakers who are experts within the 17 goals, and our theme is youth in development. So we're focusing on young people, and we're focusing on experts who have, who can speak to different topics like education, climate change, and health, and how it affects young people around the world. And we're going to be also talking with a lot of youth, a lot of young people who are in development, who are actually working, and they have initiatives that they're leading, all in efforts to make the world that we all live in a better place. And so this is very exciting, and I'm excited to also have our co-host, Amwek Media. So she's going to be co-hosting this with me, and we're going to be doing this together, bringing in speakers, and basically, guys, you have to honor this effort we're putting in, because honestly, she wanted to do this conversation, and it's draining to be out there and wanting to see change happen, because guess what? Change doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen when you want it to happen. It just happens with time, and it's all a process. And so the organizations and media companies and everything we're doing, it's all in effort that we may as well leave a legacy behind. That when people think of us and think of the work we've done in the world, when we leave, when we're 120 years old, when we leave, is that they look at the body of work and they can appreciate it, because we tried, and we hope to pass the baton on to our generations, right? I think that everyone has a role to play in this world, and you just have to figure out what your purpose is, what your passion is, and go at it with all your heart. Do all you can to live that purpose that God has called you, And so for me, that's why I do this, not for the money, not for anything else, but for the fact that we can make impact. And it's interesting because when you have a media platform, the way I see media, right, is that there are a lot of people who are doing things out there that matters, but nobody knows about them. And so for me, one of the reasons why TanTv even exists in its own right is that I keep meeting interesting people who are doing something the world should be talking about. And they're doing it in their little corners, on a small scale, medium scale, even on a large scale, but it's still not as amplified as it should be. And of course, because it's not gossip, it's not, entertainment. So it's overlooked, it's easily overlooked, right? And so you might call us, oh, you're too serious, you're not as entertaining. And so the traction we're getting might not be as fast as something that's, you know, music or that's so entertaining, right? But the fact of the matter is that whatever these individuals are doing affects people's lives. And we give that platform to say, come tell your story. Let us amplify your voice. Let us do whatever we can to make sure that the world sees you. And when the world sees you, there's a chance that an investor might see you. There's a chance that somebody of importance might also see what you're doing and give you that boost to do more of what you're already doing. So for me, it's very exciting to amplify people's voices. And that is the essence of the media that we do when it's focused on social impact, is that you want to amplify people who are basically changing the world in very important and vital ways, and they cannot be overlooked, you know?
Just to add to what you just stated, Adedayo, what I love what you stated, you know, you said there are so many persons who are doing such good work in their little corners and no one knows about it. They're making their own impact. So
Yeah.
using our media platform, we're able to highlight them. But you mentioned, like you said, it could be like a CEO or someone could see them and say, hey, let me give you an opportunity. But to add to that, it's not just only looking for an opportunity, but having conversations about things we don't normally have conversations about. It's about breaking cycles. It's about understanding. We need to be able to talk about things that we are afraid to talk about, that society condemns. In order for, I mean, look at what happened with R. Kelly, right? The whole movement with R. Kelly, is it last year? The entire movement, the Me Too movement with R. Kelly, I can tell you here in St. Martin, that caused a rippling effect. People just started they take command of that and grab it with a horn, and they implemented that whole thing right here, you know, highlighting the issues right here when it comes to molestation and all of these things. The idea is to use this platform, not just looking for wealth or riches or for expansion of our businesses, but also, again, to break cycles. There are so many things that are happening right in front of our eyes. And because no one pays attention to it, it's not normal for people to talk about the ills within our society. Things are happening to us and no one is speaking about it because there's a fear. There's a conspiracy of silence that basically became over time a norm. It's, you know, over time you will find something that is done that is wrong, but it's done so often it appears as if it's right. And when you highlight it, no one wants to really touch it. You see what I'm saying? So normalizing these conversations on platforms like ours and other persons who focus on cultural, social impact content, the idea is to allow persons to be free. Know that, hey, it's okay to speak. Know that it's okay to speak. Know that you have a voice. Know that you're not alone. You know, this is what this platform also is about, is to allow us to educate our people, educate our masses. You know what I mean? Like, there's a place that belongs to you, and we are here to tell you what that place is, or advise you. It's up to you after to make a move on it. But the idea for me is to break cycles, break norms, to speak about things that persons generally don't speak on, right? So Angelina is here. Hey Lena, what's up? Lena is in Europe, is in Holland. So to share the screen, she said, so Adedayo, you have the content. So you just basically go to it's between chat and record.
No, I see that. I try to do that, but it then go to system preference or something, which is my setting on my Mac. And so when if I have to do that, then it will log me off to approve, to grant the sharing, something like that.
Okay.
But if you can go on the YouTube and just do a script.
I'm looking for it. I'm actually looking for my
on that playlist, then you see the
Do me a favor, send me the link on Messenger now, please, and I'll do that. All right. Okay, guys, it's raining. Let me just put in something here. Bear with me. This is what happens when you're doing live talks. You know, it's raining, something blew away, so I had to go run to grab it.
Yeah, it actually rained heavily yesterday where I'm at.
Yeah, it has been raining a lot on my end. It has been raining a lot.
I like the
Did you
rain.
send it? I love when it rains. Did you send it?
Check your.
You send it on Facebook Messenger, right?
No.
How would you send it on what? You can't send it on WhatsApp.
No. Zoom chat.
Oh, okay.
So the chat box in the Zoom.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
You know, I have to say the fact that this my artwork here is slant. It's giving me OCD a little bit. I'm like,
What? Sorry?
I said the fact that my art piece there is slanted. It doesn't look straight.
Oh.
It's giving. I'm like, I should have just taken it down, but I like it. It's my dad's work actually. You know.
Okay. Okay, share screen. Okay, I'm seeing basic, advanced music or computer sound content from cameras. Okay. Let's see how that works. Is it playing? Let me see. No, it's not going to play. I don't know. What am I not doing? I did this before and I don't know why I'm not getting it now.
I think you just stay on the basic and then you choose if it's from the Google Chrome or something like that. Yeah, so well, if it's not possible, we might just have to skip that and just leave the link. Just put the YouTube link on the Facebook thing,
Okay.
maybe afterwards or something, and then everyone can watch it later.
Okay, I think I got it.
Oh, okay.
There?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Do we have the volume?
The volume is on?
We don't hear. So this is just a look back at some of the interviews we anchored during the previous UN General Assemblies and coverage of the SDG Media Zone.
Can you hear it? Can one of our viewers can hear it?
Can they hear it? Because I can hear it.
You can hear it? Can you hear it?
Can they hear it? Oh, let me see what's my face. Oh, let me see what. Okay.
But it said no audio. They said no audio. Oh, they said no audio. Okay, they cannot hear it. 1 minute. Let's see. What did I do? What did I not do? Okay. Did I put it for audio?
So
Is it now?
Amina alluded to it in this conversation. She obviously was born into a very loving family.
Yes.
And that, I think, is key.
That's what see like women like you on TV, see all of this on TV, but they come from a small village and like they dream of being here, but they just don't know how to get here.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's a longer path, a longer climb. But the important thing is, and Amina alluded to it in this conversation, she obviously was born into a very loving family.
Yes.
And that, I think, is key. People who don't get a good start in life have it much harder.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but it is harder. But I don't think the idea of coming from a Nigerian village is something that automatically excludes you from being able to chase your dream.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I feel like that's going to be so inspirational to so many women that just feel like it's impossible for me to ever rise to that level.
Well, I mean, I would say as quickly as you can and as hard as you can, get with the technology of the new age. And I know that's hard in places where the internet hasn't yet penetrated, but it will.
Okay.
And so it's important to be ready.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me personally because it just feels like
Take care of yourself.
Is there a blueprint available for CEOs who would want to adopt the SDGs into their governing structure?
I think you can find quite a lot of interesting both stories and facts in that on how other companies are adopting the SDGs and what they're actually doing. Because everyone is doing it a little bit differently, and you might adopt one or two targets or goals, or you might adopt all of them. I hope, though, that many companies will start to realize that, you know what, we can actually run the company based on these 17 SDGs. We can actually have that as part of our P&L.
One last question. If you were to talk to all CEOs, what message would you give them, or what encouragement would you give them in terms of the adaptation of the goals?
Well,
what would be your selling card?
The selling card, I don't know, the elevator speech is, I think the time is now beyond us doing trials, as I said. Trials is not interesting, it's now systemic change that we're looking after. So think big, think partnership, and do it, just do it. There's a sort of no time to think too much about it. That I think is a critical thing. And two, view this as a business opportunity. It is nothing else, this is pure business, and at the same time doing good for you, for me, for our children, and for the future planet. There is no animosity around that. It's the same thing.
Perfect. How are you engaging youths in the awareness, the solution, and the eradication of tuberculosis?
I think the key answer has to do with community-based work. You heard the mention, but the treatment of TB is fundamentally about prevention. And if we want to give priority to prevention, we need to have community health workers. And these community health workers have to be young people. So fundamentally, the main strategy that will need to be used in terms of organization, at the organizational level, in terms of efficiency, needs to focus on community level and the role that the youth can play as health workers at the community level. And they have a very significant role to play in order to work on what is the main treatment, which is prevention.
Perfect.
Well, I know that. In fact, I was just telling Georgia that Ahlam Simsim is all about welcoming new friends. Can you tell us a little bit about it there?
Well, my neighborhood is the most welcoming place in the whole wide world.
And I hear you have a new best friend.
Oh, I do, Miss Sherry, I do. His name is Jad, and he's almost 6, just like me. He just moved to our neighborhood.
Are you and Jad alike?
Well, in some ways, we're not alike at all. Like, I have purple fur, and Jad has yellow fur. Oh, and I like to sing la 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 la, and dance a-doo-da-da, a-doo-da-da, a-doo-da-da-da, and Jad likes to paint. But we both love to go on adventures together. Jad will plan out every detail in advance, but I just like to go, go, go. So I say, Yalla Jad. That means let's go in Arabic. I say it a lot.
Ozma, it sounds like you guys have so much fun together, but didn't you tell me that at first, when Jad first came, he had trouble making new friends?
He did.
All right, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think? You know, it just shows the body of work that we've done, and even while we're there, even getting those interviews wasn't easy, right? Because you have a lot of other reporters who want to have those interviews with key figures, and but once we're there, we're focused, and you know, we get things done. Even if we have just a few minutes to chat with these figures, it's always interesting to hear their perspective on key issues. And so the past few years that we've covered this, I think is it 4 years? You know, it's been a learning experience, and just opening our eyes to what's out there and how dedicated you have private sector, those in private sectors, even entertainers, how somehow they want to do good, right? And finding ways to do good. And I always say, like, even when you look at business, right, you can still do good while doing business. And it's essential because within your business, you can also implement the SDGs. You can also find a way to, you know, like one of the interviews, one of the, like we interviewed Matt, right, from Matt Grinding from, what's the organization he runs again?
I forgot it, but they basically, the organization he runs, they basically focus on technology.
Technology, GSMA. Yeah, GSMA.
GSMA.
Yeah, they focus on technology, and And you know, for instance, even Toyota, the CEO of Toyota was one of the guests at the SDG Media Zone, and he talked about sustainability, right? On how they're making their cars more eco-friendly, things like that. So you find practical ways that the SDGs is being applied in our daily lives, and overall, it affects how we live. It affects how we live. If climate change is not something you care about, it should be something you care about. If reducing, you know, the use of plastic and things like that in our, it's everything. So finding practical ways to apply these things matter. And you know, that's just an example. What you just watched is an example of how, you know, TanTv has been working to make a change in our own way through media.
What I love, I mean, there are so many interviews. There's only so much that we can actually share, because when we're there, we cover so many different interviews, right? But there's so much that we can actually share with you. So what we do is encourage you to just check out TanTv on YouTube, check out TanTv on Facebook and on Instagram. All right. So you will know what's happening, what we have been up to. You can look at our past work. All right. So what I really love. Sorry, TanTv
website, the website tantvstudios.com, and the YouTube is TanTv Studios. So please subscribe so that we can start reaching more people too.
Yeah, very good. Me see Angelina said something here. She said sustainability is the new normal now. You're right, Lena. Sustainability is the new normal. You know, what I love when we interviewed the CEO of GSMA, the director of GSMA, what I love is when I listen to him speak on that panel, his implementation, their implementation of the SDGs is so perfectly aligned with their companies. They, in terms of gender equality, they were so precise when it came to their hiring of their staff members. You know, they wanted to make sure that, I mean, there was a balance between male and female workers, for instance. They really and truly crafted their company's governing program, governing structures, right, to fit the SDGs. And for me, that was one of the highlights for me, having to interview him. I mean, we couldn't show the entire interview, but that was one of my highlights, definitely. Moving forward, right, Adedayo said, the SDG Media Zone basically continues up throughout October. So you will be seeing Daya and I
the Global Goals Week.
The Global Goals Week. Thank you. The Global Goals Week, right? So you will be seeing Adedayo and I continuing to talk, not like this. We basically be hosting digital events, digital forums. Go ahead. There, you're muted. You're muted.
No. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, sorry. You know, so you will definitely be seeing Adedayo and I on TanTv working and doing what we do in terms of media as we engage as a partner of the United Nations Global Goals Week. All right. So there you have it. This is what we do. We're very, very proud of the content we put out. I do the same with Gyhaffin. You know, I'm very careful as to what I put out with Gyhaffin. For me, it must be able to move our people forward. It must bring some level of inspiration, some level of accountability. You know, that's for me. And I know across the board, it goes for everything I do. Every single thing I commit myself to doing, I must be able to be responsible for it. All right. So are there anything we can say in closing? Anything we missed?
Well, you know, thank you, Keoma. Really proud of you again with Gyhaffin. I know when you started it and you really pushed through. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this, you know.
It's definitely not.
It's not. So, well, because a lot of time, a lot of back-end preparation, and so I commend you on Gyhaffin taking it to? How many episodes have you done now?
This is our 17th episode. Today is our 17th,
yeah.
our 17th episode.
Yeah, well done, well done.
Thank
And
you.
also, I would ask that if you're watching or whenever you see this, please subscribe to the YouTube of TanTv Studios. We need the following. We really do, because now you see how the content is. It took a lot of time to edit the content that you see. A lot of time and money to edit the content. It's one thing to do the recording. It's one thing to do post-production. It's one thing to even get to New York and meet. I mean, it's a lot. She knows the struggle.
Listen, let me tell you, people, I swear to, I know persons know this. I mean, Lena is here. Lena said, you know, we're doing a great job and stuff like that. But let me tell you, there are persons who feel to themselves, they need to have all of this to get stuff done. All right. We started with nothing but a desire and intent. That's what we started with, a desire and an intent. We saw the needs, we identify ourselves and our strengths with the needs, and we created a platform with only what we had in our hands. Yeah. Only what we had. I am not going to speak about, about when we were in New York. Let me tell you, the behind the scenes work is a lot. It takes a whole lot to get what may appear to be a simple. Yeah. I'm telling you, it takes a lot of mental energy, emotional, physical, and it costs a lot as well. You have to, I remember when we did, you remember when we were at the African Union House for the conference on tuberculosis? Like, we were there, you saw me interview, our viewers would see me interviewing the gentleman, right? And instantly, while I'm interviewing him, they got a call like, hey, we have to go to the media zone. No. And I was eating, I was there enjoying the buffet. My shoes were off, and I just had to grab every single thing in the rain and run out. And I'm telling you, like, I'm in heels. And I'm stuffing because I was so hungry. I'm stuffing my mouth with all the food, and like, people are looking at me, and I'm like, they ask like, Keoma, we have to go. I want the food. Like, I want the food, you know. But I'm telling you, it takes a lot. But the thing is, there's such beauty in this craft. There's such beauty, such satisfaction in the craft. So for our viewers, I didn't mention this. Go on Gyhaffin.com, subscribe as well, Gyhaffin.com. For now, we're only on Facebook, on my page, on YouTube. I post all the videos on my personal YouTube page. You know, it will just be too much for me to be posting and creating too many social media handles. I really cannot deal with managing all that stuff, right? Yeah. So on YouTube, if you check out Keoma Hamer, my page on YouTube, you can subscribe as well. All of these episodes are actually posted there, and I will do the same. Well, I will create a media Facebook platform as well, and for Instagram and for Twitter. All right. So Adedayo, let me ask you, how was your interview with the new editor-in-chief of Vogue magazine? How was that? What was that like?
So I had met her last year at the Vogue Forces of Fashion, which TanTv covered in New York. And so it wasn't an actual interview. It was, the fact is she just became, so she's Nigerian. Her name is Chomel Nandi. And, you know, the representation, and maybe we can share the link of the article later, but the representation of Black people in fashion is it's lacking. I mean, for the first time in 100 years, you had a Black person 2 years ago as the Black photographer to take a cover for Vogue magazine. And that was Beyonce, when Beyonce was on the cover of Vogue. And that's the first time you have a Black photographer taking a picture. So that's a whole new topic on its own. So now you still have Anna Wintour as the editor-in-chief, but Keoma is now like the main editor for the entire Vogue.com. And so it's a big step. She was the news director for fashion at Vogue. And so I met her last year when Vogue invited TanTv to cover the event Vogue Faces of Fashion, which actually is coming up again in November. So the article you saw was actually not an interview, was a write-up about the news of her becoming editor at Vogue. And she actually supports TanTv. She follows us on our TanTv Instagram.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So guys, you know, this today it is impromptu. We didn't plan this. I just say, hey, let's just do this, right? Because actually we've been trying to build this momentum, create this momentum. I kid you not. We've been trying to create a momentum to prepare for what we are about to start doing for the Global Goals Week. Right, I needed to feel his energy, like they are.
Normally New York. Normally, we're in New York every September, and you know, because of the COVID, everything was put online. We also have personal things happening, so it's just a lot. So honestly, my mind was in. I was just kind of like, well, I'm gonna sit this out this September, which we kind of did. And when we became partners to the Global Goals, they actually reached out, you know, to see if we're interested in becoming partners. And I learned that they're going to have it extended to October. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe we just do something of our own, have an actual event and build our own event platform. And hopefully next year, by the grace of God, if once COVID is out of the picture, by this time next year, we might be having this as an annual summit, you know. And so during the UNGA, every year, we might actually just host our own events going forward. And that would be a big thing to do.
Definitely.
Have it in New York, you know, and bring speakers together and create our own solid platform around the UN and the SDGs too. Yeah.
Definitely. I remember we began speaking about this as well. So it's a hype for me to actually see from idea, from thoughts, and now we're actually doing it. You know, we're just about to start doing it. So guys, thank you so much. We needed this energy. We needed this hype. We needed to sit here and talk about this.
I said, I am glad we did this. This is good.
Yeah, I told you, like we really needed to get into the zone. We need to feel this energy because we are now going to get off here and start preparing for the events we'll be hosting and what we'll be doing for the Global Goals Week in October. All right. So trust me, it takes a whole lot. And we're doing this while I continue to focus on Gyhaffin, while Adedayo continue to focus on our own platforms from TanTv and other aspects as well. And we still have our own life to attend to. All right. So we really needed this boost. I needed this boost to get into this because this is a different level of content creation. You know, everything has to be on point because everything that we do right now, it will be on the United Nations Global Goals Week website. It will be there. All right. It will be featured there as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend. Do not forget to follow. Do not forget to go on Gyhaffin.com and subscribe. We need subscribers. Gyhaffin, Gyhaffin.com. Olina said, I'm coming. I'll be your personal chef. Yeah, Lena girl, you definitely need to be our personal chef because we be eating. I'm telling you, definitely. You know, but go on Gyhaffin.com, Gyhaffin, Gyhaffin.com, and subscribe. Go on TanTv. Come tell us there exactly what you want us to know.
Yeah, TanTvstudios.com, and on the homepage you'll find our subscribe notification there on the homepage, and you can just easily subscribe to the YouTube. We need the subscribers on YouTube, so it's just TanTv Studios on YouTube, and everywhere else is TanTv Studios on Instagram as well. So thank you. Yeah.
And for me on YouTube, as I told you, it's my personal page. So you can just look for Keoma Hamer on YouTube. You will find me. You will find all the episodes of Gyhaffin there. some videos I posted like 5-6 years ago. They are still there. So whatever it is I do, I will be posting it on my personal YouTube page. As I said, it's just too much. I cannot manage too much. Like, everything has to be concentrated for me. Like, it has to be there, right? It's too much. If I create another page, I'll go mad. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Angelina, let me just say hi to everyone. We have Mead DCs is watching. DG Small, hey girl, what's up? Jacqueline Rowe is here. Angelina is here. Wilfred, hey my love. Bismarck Agency, thank you so much for always supporting me. That's one member of my team. Luanda, hey Luanda, what's up? Thank you. Frank Tucker, Eban is here, and I'm pretty sure, well, Nicole DeWeaver was here when we started it. Moses in Nigeria was here. I must say hi to Nuhu, and I must also say hello to the group I lead. I lead the Young World Leaders group. I lead a Young World Leaders group on WhatsApp, and we're currently talking about, starting this group on Facebook as well. I've been leading this group for over like 2.5 years. 2.5 years, and it's so 2.5 years, and it's so. I mean, we do not talk every day, but what is so special about every single person in the group is about 70 or 70 persons in the group. And what we do is every person in that group is so concentrated on something pertaining to the SDGs, whether it be technology, whether it be their creators, whether it be agriculture, like Farah in Zimbabwe, Moses in Nigeria. He's a researcher. Like, and what is so good how we work together. TanTv and I partner. TanTv, if you go on Instagram, you can look for Keoma TanTv, Keoma TanTv. We actually partner. We'll be starting a program together because TanTv focuses on sexual and reproductive health. So I'll be joining TanTv on Instagram very soon to have a live talk as well on that platform, Keoma TanTv platform. And all of that stemmed from the WhatsApp group I lead, Young World Leaders group. So thank you so much. I'm getting off of here now. Anyone else? All right, so bye everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this impromptu talk. Definitely you all hyped us up. Are you hyped there?
I am. I feel great. Much better.
Very good. I told you. So thank you everyone. Bye. Dea, stay on. We can chat after.
Okay.
That means.